And we're back. What's up, guys? Just as we promised, we're going to continue doing the breakdown for Juri now with the new live showcase. And we'll go over the additional details with her this time.
Before we start, I'd like to add some more information about what we said on our last video on Kimberly. Specifically for Hiex Ozanto, we mentioned in the video that we weren't sure if she could jump cancel it. But looking back at the footage, we are now confirming that she is able to do that. So
that's cool. She could probably jump and go into her command grab now and combo into it if she can jump cancel it, assuming she can.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spotlight's on Juri Mir, so let's talk about Juri. The first thing I want to mention is look at the character selection screen. She's squatting on a tire, and I'm not happy about this because
what do you mean?
it's so silly. I don't understand why she's not like sitting on a motorcycle. She always has like this motorcycle theme, you know. She'd be resting on it with her helmet on, or something related to a motorcycle, or even a spider. But the reason she's sitting on a tire, the director literally answered this on Twitter, or not on Twitter. Sorry, it was translated on Twitter, and it was said during the commentary. He's like, "I thought it looked cool." That was literally his reason. I don't know. I don't buy it.
I still think it does fit with her motif, especially because she's supposed to be kind of like this flexible fighter with like really good balance, right? So she's balancing on the tire, kind of like the spider, I guess, since we were talking about that.
Okay, so this is gonna be a little mouthful because I'm gonna explain this whole stock system with Juri again. So we got some more details on this mirror on how it works now that we can see an actual match here. So Juri doesn't start off the round with stocks. She starts off at 0, and as you guys should know by now, Juri does not require stocks to do her Fuha specials anymore. She can do them normally. What the stocks do, however, is they enhance the next Fuha special. So it's a great way so the character feels like a full character, but she still benefits from enhancing her attacks and making them stronger.
We know that the maximum stocks that Juri can get is 3, and unlike Street Fighter V, where you needed a specific stock to do a specific version of the Fuha, in Street Fighter 6, these are generic stocks. So basically, you can do whichever version, and you don't have to stock a specific one. They're just generic. And you will be notified of how many you have right next to the drive gauge. There's going to be a yin-yang symbol and, the number of stocks that you have. On top of that, there's going to be a purple glow around one of Juri's feet, so that you can tell that she has them stocked. And I guess another thing that's worth mentioning is that these stocks don't carry over between rounds. So basically at the beginning of every round, you'll have to restock to get more charges.
How do you know her feet were glowing, Mir, without looking at her feet?
They're like head height because of her stance.
There's also some weird details too here, Mir. So if she does, let's say she already has a stock, okay? So no matter whatever Fuha move you're doing, you're going to consume a stock. It's just going to assume you want to use it. But if you do the OD version, at least on her medium Fuha, it doesn't consume a stock.
Right, that's peculiar because the medium Fuha seems to be exactly the same as the OD medium Fuha. They don't seem any different. They look the same, and they probably have the same advantage on hit. But for example, the EX heavy Fuha is actually different than the heavy enhanced Fuha. So I'm not sure if that one's not going to consume any stock because they are visually different. They do different things. So, but we see it being done in the footage, so we don't know.
At least they give you the option though if it doesn't consume the stock, because let's say you want to end the combo without consuming all your stocks and you have like one left over to do like a meaty light Fuha fireball, for example. All right, so with that out of the way now, let's go through this footage in order. We can see a little bit of Juri's dashes. She does like a backflip for her back dash. But her forward dash, I noticed Mir goes quite far.
The range is really impressive. It looks a lot like Street Fighter V's V-trigger dash without the V-trigger, which is, I don't know, worrisome because it was very, very problematic, I think.
It's funny too, because when you mentioned that to me, Mira, I didn't know her dash goes further with V-trigger until you told me. I was like, wait, what?
This just tells you about the quality of the content on our channel.
Don't worry, I'll remove this from the video so no one will know. So we see her first combo here. It's probably an auto combo mirror because they're both using modern controls. But she goes standing heavy punch into her OD medium Fuha, and then she links into crouching medium kick into the light uppercut, her DP, the pinwheel.
Right, so what we can determine from this is that the OD medium Fuha, or at least the medium enhanced version, considering that we're presuming that they're the same, Seems to have quite a lot of hit stun because she can link a crouching medium kick after, which I can't imagine being too fast. And on top of that, the light pinwheel now knocks down, which is something that it never did before.
Right, that's a good point. Next up, we see a little preview of her jumping medium kick and jumping light kick, and it looks like the director is like failing to do a dive kick here. So that might give us a hint here on like a height restriction on her dive kick, but I'm just like assuming, just look at the footage.
Right. That's what I thought too, because it would be kind of weird for someone to just do a jumping medium kick or jumping light kick on the way up for no apparent reason. It happens repeatedly.
So the next thing we see is her level 1 super, and it's, you know, really similar to Street Fighter 4 and like the end of Street Fighter 5. And I noticed it knocks them really, really far back after she hits with it.
Yeah, it also causes a wall splat, or rather they hit the wall and fall over. It doesn't cause any extra damage, so I'm not sure if it is something that will happen at all times because we only see it once in the footage that we have, or if it is based on distance from the corner and it might, you know, change the Oki or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we see Juri assume a unique stance afterwards where she's kind of like resting her arm on her leg, on her raised leg.
Yeah, I like that. I like those animations. They did with a lot of characters of Street Fighter 5. Especially the newer ones that after they do a move, there's like secret idle stances after specific moves. You think that wall splash she does after her super, you don't think that's anything crazy? Like if they were in burnout, they'd be stunned or something like that, right?
No, I would hope not. I don't think so. I think it's just part of how the animation looks, but I can't be sure. Like I said, we only see it once.
Yeah. We also see a quick light confirm mirror with crouching light kick, crouching light punch into Fuha stock, and I'm assuming that's just another auto combo, light auto combo.
Yeah, that would seem to be the case, which at least confirms that Juri is going to be able to get some stocks from the light confirm, which is nice. Gives you a knockdown and the possibility of pressuring after with the fireball, for example, since you have the stock.
I wonder if she can juggle into her OD heavy Fuha, just like she could in Street Fighter 5 afterwards to get some more damage from that. Moving on, we see the enhanced version of Juri's light Fuha, and it's basically like her traditional fireball. It's purple, it's really slow moving, and it's really low to the ground.
Right, in the footage that we have, we see it hit meaty, or at least on the opponent's wake up and they get hit by it, and then Juri does a heavy DP right afterwards and it combos. So it seems to still have some advantage, especially if it hits in that wake up situation where you can combo after.
Next thing we see is the OD version of her DP, and it's pretty similar to Street Fighter 5. It goes right up, kicks them down on the last hit.
Right, we're not sure if all versions of our DP, or at least the medium and the heavy, are going to be anti-airs, but this one is probably a full-on reversal, completely invulnerable like many EX DPs.
Let's hope it doesn't like go under the opponent like it usually does. Like, I hate that so much. That's so dumb. We also see her forward throw too, mirror. It looks more similar to her Street Fighter 4 forward throw. It knocks him really far back.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Juri really gets a lot of advantage as far as Oki is concerned, but the opponent is so far away that she can probably get off 1 or 2 stocks.
We also see after Juri lands her drive impact, we see for a split second that weird like command normal. We don't know what it is, if it's like a back medium kick, and it's cancelable into her uppercut. Right.
It used to be close medium kick in Street Fighter 4, so we have no clue what it is now. But yeah, the hit, interestingly, is cancelable. We had theorized that both hits would be cancelable in our latest video on Juri, but for now, we only know that the first one is. We don't know if the second one is as well.
We see Juri do the dive kick quite a bit of times in the footage, and we actually see one of the dive kicks whiff. And it goes really far, mirror, like across the screen. Right. I'm assuming it's the heavy version. They're using modern controls.
Yeah, I mean, this is her tool to get around fireballs now because she doesn't have the flip kick anymore like she did in Street Fighter 5. But to be honest, this could probably be a more useful one just because it seems like you can also get some situations where even if it whiffs, you just cover so much ground that you still might be able to get a punish.
Could be good for escaping the corner too if you get a jump.
Right. I guess another thing that's worth mentioning is that the follow-up where she does a bunch of kicks in the air, that's manually inputted. You don't actually get it every time. You have to do it.
Do you remember the names of the follow-ups, Mir?
I don't wish to remember.
In case you guys don't know, the 2 follow-ups to her dive kick in Street Fighter 4 was called Second Impact, Third Strike.
unfortunately.
Don't worry, I'll cut that out of the video too. Okay, next thing, we see a big combo here. Standing heavy punch canceled into her OD medium Fuha, and then she links into crouching medium kick. Light uppercut canceled into her level 3. Also, the level 3 mirror was the non-CA version, the non-fan service version.
I mean, still a lot of feet, to be honest.
It's more like the Street Fighter 4 where she's like, you know, holds them close to her face. But yeah, so I guess Juri players will be getting hit on purpose so they can see the CA version instead. And yeah, another thing too, Mir, you mentioned this as well on Twitter, when she slams them down to level 3, it's like this huge kind of like crater on the floor and it stays there for a really long time.
Right, it seems to me that it stays there until it leaves the screen and then it starts disappearing. So in a way it's nice because it's some attention to detail on Capcom's side that you don't get this kind of like jarring effect of, you know, this crater on the ground just disappearing in thin air as if the ground was just reforming under them. That doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's like spray paint on the floor from the spray paint effects. I mean, it's cool. Not if you're on the PS4 version though, probably. We'll find out when we play online.
Well, I don't think you're gonna get hit by that many level 3s in a row, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Oh, we see her overhead kick, and we see it land near the end. Her forward medium kick. It looks fast.
Right, it looks a lot like it is in Street Fighter 5. And to be honest, I'm not convinced by this animation. It looks really difficult to see. Yeah. I don't know if it's because it's fast or if it's because it's animated in a strange way. But I can see myself blocking this very easily. It requires some training.
This is crazy too, Mir. One drive rush combo here. So we see Juri do standing light kick, I'm assuming. Drive rushes into it, into an auto combo, into her crouching light kick, crouching light punch, Fuha stock. But man, light kick, drive rush combo? Like, come on, man. I mean, she's going to lights, but like, come on.
Admittedly, it's on a punish counter because it says a whiff punish.
Oh,
so
yeah,
maybe that gives enough frame advantage to be able to do this.
Oh, man.
But even then, the standing light kick that Juri has in Street Fighter 6, it looks nothing like it did in Street Fighter 5, where it was kind of like this close pressure normal. This one looks like it extends, you know, right in front of Juri, so it could be great for stuffing dashes and things like that. That was a perfect example how it should be utilized, right? Or for whiff punishment too, because it's fast, right?
Okay, let's go into more detail on her light Fuha, her fireball now, without the enhanced version. So it has 0 range, Mir. It has like no range. It almost looks like Juri's just kicking the floor.
Right, it's like the kick has a little bit of a extra hitbox because of the energy release, but it doesn't go basically anywhere, like you said.
Yeah, it looks pathetic, but then, you know, the more I think about it, if Juri no longer needs stocks to do her Fuhas, that her fireball be way too strong if she just had it at all times, you know? Because it's really slow. It's not the traditional fireball where you use the zone, but it helps her cover her tracks and helps her get in. And it causes a lot of pressure because of that. And so it makes sense, you know, why the enhanced Fuha light fireball is similar to Street Fighter 5, and this one is more like an ending kick. But I guess it'd be good for, you know, ending block strings. It's probably safe on block.
Right. Assuming that it is anything like Street Fighter 5, the fireball was -2, and you could make it even more safe, like 0 in some situations.
Right.
So maybe the one that you can do without any stock is a little bit more unsafe, but with the right spacing, you can still make it safe and just be, you know, get away with it. And since you have it at all times, that's an option that you have in your kit without necessarily needing the stock.
Next up, we have Juri's alternate color mirror. Ooh.
Do you like the yellow hair?
The yellow streak?
Yeah.
I dig it. So whatever.
Okay. Well, I mean, I do like the white hair, but the yellow one is not convincing.
Look, man, they're gonna have like 10 alternate colors in the future.
Looks like stale lemonade.
This will be like the most common one we'll see in mirror matches, so, you know. Okay, back to the gameplay. So her Fuha stocks mirror, we were kind of confused when we were looking at the trailer footage because we noticed one of the Fuha stocks was like slower than normal and seemed to launch higher. And then the director actually switched back to classic controls on the last match. And he did all 3 Fuha stocks in a row, light, medium, and heavy. And then we saw there actually is a difference between the strengths.
Right, exactly. You can tell that they're different versions because Juri takes a different amount of time to complete them, and they cover a different amount of ground. Like for the light one, she doesn't move at all. For the medium one, she takes a little step forward, and for the heavy one, she takes a bigger step forward. And as you go higher in the versions, they, like I said, they take longer time to complete.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because what we saw in the trailer, if I remember correctly, is a combo into what probably is the heavy stock, and then they let Juri juggle into her heavy DP afterwards.
Right. So you get more damage and you get the stock too. So I think that's cool. It makes the stock move itself more interesting in general, since you don't need to get stocks anymore with Juri if you don't want to. What do you think what the medium stock would be for, the medium Fuha?
Well, right, I would imagine that the light one is for, the light confirm, like we saw in that auto combo.
Yeah.
And the heavy one is for your heaviest normal. So the medium one has to be for somewhere in between. Like maybe you can get it off of certain mediums where you wouldn't be able to get the heavy out. I don't know if they're going to be safe on block. That's another thing that I'm curious about, because they used to be.
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter. The Juri player is going to press a button after anyways, every single time. It really doesn't matter. Speaking of which, though, we got some more footage on our dive kick near the end. And he seemed to space it better, and it looks like you can make the dive kick safe.
It's possible that they've done it this way because to do the dive kick, it's required for you to jump forward, so you cannot do it for from the safety of a neutral jump. And as such, like it gives you an opportunity to make it at least a little bit safer, since you're committing to a forward jump to go over the firebolt, right?
Right.
So at least even if you didn't get it right, if you're skilled enough to land it on their knees or below, you can save yourself that way.
Okay, this one's funny, Mir, because this is a combo that's not actually a combo. So we see the Juri player go crouching medium kick into the medium enhanced Fuha, and then that new target combo with, I don't know what's like, back medium punch, medium kick, heavy kick, I'm guessing. But the beginning where he goes crouching medium kick into the medium enhanced Fuha, it doesn't even combo if you pay attention to it closely.
Right. At first it seemed like a big deal. It's like, oh, that's a good combo because she doesn't have that at 5. Well, I guess she doesn't have it in Street Fighter 6 either, so.
But at least we know after the medium enhanced Fuha, you can go into the target combo, so I think that's cool. Alright, so the next big thing I want to talk about is we got more information on Juri's level 2 super, her Feng Shui engine. And when she activates, we can see that her super meter turns into a timer, just like when Jamie does his level 2.
Unlike Street Fighter 5, it doesn't seem that chaining attacks together drains the meter, like for the V-Trigger version. It's more like in Street Fighter 4, where it's just a timer.
That's really strong, by the way, if it doesn't. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it could be that it just lasts less overall.
Yeah,
in the sense that it drains constantly over time.
Another thing I want to mention too, Mir, is that I was wrong on guessing that when we saw in the trailer, she does this new like dash attack. It's like a dash that literally hits.
Right.
And I assume that maybe it could be like Ken's V-Trigger, where it's a canned dash. So she can go into her level 2 from like combos or whatever. But she doesn't do it all 3 times. So what do you think that means? Like, what is this dash move?
It's difficult to say because in none of the 3 situations do we see Juri dash forward, which is interesting because the rest of the Feng Shui engine doesn't seem to affect their movement at all. Which would be consistent with how it is in Street Fighter 4 and 5, but at least in Street Fighter 5, our forward dash becomes much better in Feng Shui engine. So it would make sense that our forward dash also would become this enhanced dash. But like I said, we just never see it. And if it's not our forward dash that gets enhanced, it ought to be a new special altogether. So it's one of the two. We just don't know, obviously.
It's a big mystery. And the final thing I want to talk about, Mir, is we see her standing medium kick at the very, very end. We don't see it do 2 hits because we see it just like long range hit once. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter screaming, no, when they saw it. They were so sad. Because that normal attack is really annoying in Street Fighter.
It is very annoying.
Really annoying.
I mean, now their standing light kick seems also another really annoying normal. So hopefully they split the annoyance between these two instead of having just one that's absolute cancer. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm sure that the Juri players will be very happy about it.
Oh yeah, they're definitely licking their lips.
And we don't know if it is cancelable either. I guess that's another thing because in Street Fighter 5, the first hit of the 2 is special cancelable.
So that pretty much does it, Mir. That's all the footage, guys. We brought out every detail we could. Let us know if we missed anything in the comments, or if you guys would like to add anything to it, and we'll get more info on the TGS 2022 coming up next week, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed these breakdowns, and hopefully we'll have some more characters to cover in the future, Mir.
Right, and I guess it's worth mentioning that I know that there's gonna be a lot of Juri aficionados in our comments asking us why we didn't talk more about our aesthetics and such. We're saving that for another video. Smiley face.
Yeah, guys, so stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, we're taking off. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.